the chances?
What's up, y'all? This is Rocket Rider 510, and I'm about to fly the drone again. And today, I'm gonna talk about how not to lose your drone in high winds. That was a nice flight right there. I'm glad to make it back. It's very windy. Well, it's not hella windy, but it's about 12 mile an hour with a 26 mile an hour gust, which is similar to the last video, should I upgrade to the Air 3. Now, what I didn't show in that video, this is basically kind of a BTS, is that I thought I was gonna lose my drone for a minute. I mean, it's funny now, but that shit wasn't funny then. So I was getting nervous. I was getting a little, my heartbeat actually came up. So if you've been watching for a long time, you'll know that I lost my first Mavic Mini near the Golden Gate Bridge on Thanksgiving Day at the beginning of, I think that was season 3, I forgot. I'll leave a link somewhere down below or in a card up there or something, but yeah, that was a sad day. And it was really, I thought it was my fault. Because what it is that the easiest way to lose these little small drones, especially like the Mavic Minis and stuff like that, is flying in high winds. And what it is those first drones, they don't handle very much wind. I put the spec down below what the Mini can handle, but I believe it's probably no more than 17 miles an hour. And so I had a tailwind going out. And that's why I didn't really realize, because I go out and the thing's fucking flying. It's flying out. I'm not paying attention. I'm just all excited to be at the Golden Gate and getting this nice footage. And when I turned around to come back, I immediately knew something was wrong because I had no speed. And so yeah, it was a struggle trying to get back. And what happens obviously is that you start losing power and you get below a certain battery level and these drones will land themselves, and that's what happened, and landed on the side of a cliff. So that's how I lost my first little Mini. Like I said, I felt it was my fault because I had just watched a video on that subject about how you lose your drone, and it was exactly that situation. So the other problem was that day, I was still relatively new flying these drones, and I didn't quite know where I was at. I didn't know my home point. And then kind of under panic, I didn't realize that, you know, how you can change the map and use the little red line to guide you back home, but I wasn't thinking of none of that, and I was just freaking out, thinking I'm gonna lose my drone. So I was aimed the wrong way, so I lost a lot of power at that point. And again, that's what happened. Eventually the battery ran low and it ran down. So the other day, matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can see these files on here. So while filming that last video, that's kind of what happened. It's kind of the same situation. I was flying out by this large oil tanker or whatever kind of ship that is. On the way out, again, you had a nice tailwind. I believe the wind was coming from the south. And so I go out to the ship, you know, everything's fine. I knew it was windy and all that. And when I came home, I even took the little precaution. I basically like kind of crossed the channel going east and west, and crossing the channel was okay. But once I made that right turn, then at that point, now you got the headwind, and then that's when the drone starts struggling. So I'm already freaking out, and I'm having flashbacks to the last time when I originally lost my drone. So I knew that this was problems, because if you look at the miles an hour, matter of fact, let me find the file. Let me get to that point. Where we at? Coming back right there. So I make that turn. See, already making the turn, I'm already at 14 miles an hour. And as you start completing the turn, speed's getting a little lower. I'm still kind of at a little angle right there. But yeah, by the time I get straight, my speed start dropping. So as I'm facing me, I'm down to the 10 mile an hour, 9 mile an hour, 8 hour an hour. It's just dropping. And so I'm freaking out at this point, because I'm knowing like, yeah, this is the point where you can lose a drone. And I'm about 1,000 feet away. But I also knew that the solution now I know is to drop lower, go to a lower altitude. See, I couldn't really do that at the Golden Gate Bridge because I was over a cliff and over water and all that. So as you'll see in this case, I dropped down well to 40, 50 feet. And he was able to get just a little bit of speed, but it still wasn't much, but it came up a little bit. And then I was able to make my way back home. And so, yeah, I'm like hella happy, like I say, heart beating and all that. So that was the Mini 3. I figured obviously I'd do better with the Air 2S, because it can handle a little bit more wind because it has a higher top speed. And you see in the strong wind warnings and all that. But at least with the Air 2S, I got 14, 15 miles an hour speed, but that is still low, because normally in that sport mode like that, I should be doing like, what, 35, at least 32 or something like that. So I'm knowing, yeah, the wind is affecting this one just as well. It's a little more power. And so I wasn't as nervous, you know what I mean? Because I'm knowing I got the little power, and if I got home with that Mini 3, I should get home with this one. So I did the same thing, lower my altitude. You start seeing the speed kind of stabilize. And yeah, overall, it was still a scary little flight. And what I was nervous about is that this thing was this is obviously private property, and it's over a gate. I had to climb a gate, try to go over there and go find the drone. So that would have been a little sketch too. So that's the secret to it. If you got the room, if you got the clearance, and you're losing your wind speed, you see your wind speed is getting really low, lower your altitude as much as possible where the wind's not blowing as hard. And then that way, you'll be able to make it back home. So that's just a little lesson. I don't really do the lessons and tutorials and all that, but I figured I'd talk about that because, you know, you make these videos sometime and it seems like everything went all smooth, and not knowing sometimes that we be having problems behind the scenes. So I don't normally do BTSs, but I thought that this might be a little lesson to show everybody, especially those who may be considering the difference between a Mavic Mini 3 Pro and an Air 2S. That shows you the big difference right there. And for a lot of people, that's why they lean towards those bigger drones. So that's all I got for this one. Y'all hit me in the comments. Let me know what's the highest wind speed you've flown in, and also whether or not you've ever lost a drone. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And the rest of my YouTube focalizations, y'all hit the thumb nuts. All right, this is Rocket Rider 510, dropping some jewels again. And I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.
love for me faded.
So yeah, if you want to watch other videos, I got something right there that'll show the Mavic Mini 3 and some high winds, the Mini 3 Pro, and I'll show another video right there with the Air 2S and high winds.